Okay, how are you all doing today? Today I'm going to rank my favourite Queen albums, or all Queen albums, studio albums, in order of my preference, okay? So just to give you a little background, huge Queen fan here from the UK, followed them pretty much from, well, the mid-70s. First record I bought by Queen was Killer Queen in '74. The first album I bought was A Night at the Opera, and then I immediately went and bought the previous three albums. Seen them live 4 times. My favourite gig was the first one. It was the A Day at the Races tour in 1977 at Bristol Hippodrome, and I was at the final gig at Nebworth in 1986. Okay, so I don't have a copy of every single album. I think there's 3 I'm missing. But I have owned, I've owned all of them, but I just don't have those 3 right now. Okay, so my least favourite, and I'm not going to number them all because I know I'm going to get them all mixed up. So my least favourite album by Queen is A Kind of Magic. That came out in 1986, which accompanied their final tour. So it's a pity they didn't go out with a fantastic album on that tour anyway. So as with most of Queen's 80s albums, you had a few great tracks. Usually the lead single was good, but they were a bit patchy if you ask me. So my least favourite is A Kind of Magic. Love the single One Vision. You had a couple of other decent tracks like Princes of the Universe. Who Wants to Live Forever was quite good. It's one of the songs that I thought was going to be fantastic when I first heard it. It started off so promising, and I thought it would end with, like a hard rocking song, but it doesn't. So that was a little bit of a letdown, but it's still a good song. But there's some pretty awful tracks on there, like Pain Is So Close to Pleasure. Oh, dreadful. It's painful to listen to it. I don't want to hear it ever again. Friends Will Be Friends was not great. And 1 Year of Love, ugh. So, yeah, it's not a great album, in my opinion. Okay, my next least favourite is probably the Flash Gordon soundtrack. I mean, it's a soundtrack. You had a couple of decent tracks, like the Flash Gordon or the Flash theme, which was a single. It's kind of fun. There's dialogue from the movie in the single, and The Hero is quite a good rocking song, also with lyrics, because a lot of the songs on the album don't have any lyrics. It's just it's kind of incidental music. So yeah, I had it on CD, but I didn't keep it. I'm not a completist with any band really. I don't have to have everything they've ever made. So and again, the same with A Kind of Magic. I had it on. I think I bought that on cassette. Got rid of it, and I don't see any need to rebuy it, quite frankly. Anyway, so on to my third least favourite, and that is another 80s album, The Miracle. Okay, again, a great lead single, I Want It All, one of their great anthems in fact. A couple of other decent tracks. I quite enjoy Was It All Worth It, although I'm not sure about the lyrics, but there's some great hard rocking riffs in there. Party, Khashoggi Ship, I quite enjoy those, but not much else. Okay, so that's A Kind of Magic, not A Kind of Magic, The Miracle. I knew I'd make mistakes. Right, next one. A lot of people rate this album quite highly. I kind of know why, but it's pretty low in my rankings here for me, and it's Innuendo. Fantastic opening song. Again, it was a single, Innuendo. It sort of harks back to the earlier days of Queen. It's a little bit Led Zeppelin-ish. It's sort of multi-faceted. You've got Steve Howe on Spanish guitar. It's a beautiful song. I know not enough people know it. It's kind of like a latter-day Bohemian Rhapsody in a way. So check out the song Innuendo, but the album. You've got A Show Must Go On. People like that. I'm not crazy about it. Headlong was quite a good Brian May rocker, but I don't really like the production on some of these later albums. It's I don't know, something very 80s about it anyway. Next one, bit controversial having this one so high up. Most people, this is their least favourite, but it's Hot Space. Now, this, people call it their disco album or dance album, but let's be frank, there's only 4 tracks that are sort of dance based songs, or disco, whatever you want to call it. They are the first 4 tracks. Once you get past those, it's just like another Queen album. I don't mind those songs. I think they're quite fun. Body Language, Back Chat. I know it's not rock. You've got Dancer and Staying Power. They're okay. Maybe if they'd arranged the running order of the album differently, people would have said it's a great album. If they'd opened with Put Out the Fire, which is a Brian May rocker, who knows what could have happened. For me, Back Chat, which is one of the dancey songs, is kind of a bit like Another One Bites the Dust, which was their biggest selling single ever. So it does surprise me how many people dislike this album. I also like Cool Cat. I think that's a great song. It's a bit like Chic. I think the vocals sound a bit like Leo Sayer, and of course you've got Under Pressure, which is kind of an add-on track, but it's okay. I'd give this maybe 3 out of 5 if I was rating them. Okay, next album, I don't have a copy of. I had it on vinyl, and it is The Game. Now, when this came out, I'd kind of gone off Queen a bit. I wasn't buying their albums on the day of release. In fact, I probably waited about 4 years before I bought The Game and Hot Space. But I found The Game disappointing in as far as, by the time I bought it, 4 of the tracks were known, that they'd been singles. In fact, when it was released, 3 of the tracks had already been released. So I think it would be a disappointment even then. But you've got big hits like Crazy Little Thing Called Love, Another One Bites the Dust, Save Me, which is fantastic. Is there another single? Maybe not. No, maybe not. But oh yeah, there is the single Play the Game, which was not that good. I didn't like all the synthesizers. In fact, that was the first album they'd started using synthesizers, which was a mistake. Right, so yeah, Save Me is a great track. Dragon Attack is brilliant. Sail Away Sweet Sister is okay. So one of the reasons I still haven't bought it is I've got all the singles on this album, the greatest hits, and I've got about 3 tracks from the album on here, deep cuts. So if I buy the album, I'd only be getting 2 tracks that I don't have, I think. And one of them I really dislike, called Don't Try Suicide. Dreadful song. Okay, so next up is The Works, which came out in 1984. The lead single was Radio Gaga. I liked it at the time. I bought the 12-inch single, but it's one of those songs that if I don't hear it again, I'm not going to worry too much. It's great live. I can see that it goes down well live, and at Live Aid it was pretty good, but I didn't like it. Hammer to Fall is great from Brian May. I Want to Break Free is okay, but overall it's pretty average Queen. It was supposed to be an album that was after the, what's it called? Hot Space. Sorry, I'm forgetting. I'm old, forgive me. After Hot Space, it was meant to be sort of a Queen back to what they do best, a mix of rockers and some ballads. But I think it's okay. All right. Now this is where it gets difficult. I love every single one of these albums. It's their 1970s output, and I'm going to start with. I feel bad putting this at the my least favourite of the 70s, but it's their debut, Queen 1, and it's a fantastic debut. Basically, it's quite a hard rocking, heavy album. There aren't really any ballads on here, so there's less variety. I mean, Queen were quite famed for their different styles and variety, but this is more just like hard rocking, Led Zeppelin influenced. You've got Keep Yourself Alive, which was their first ever single, but it wasn't a hit. You've got Liar, which is probably my favourite, Great King Rat, and Doing All Right. So a great debut, Queen 1 as it's known. And these are the Japanese replica CD editions, which are really great. I love them so much. I wish I'd bought the entire collection because you can't buy them now. I've got vinyls on a lot of them, and I've got the regular CDs as well, remastered ones. Okay, next least favourite is Jazz. Probably their last great album. I do enjoy listening to this. One or two tracks I'm not crazy about, but there's a lot to enjoy on here. Fat Bottom Girls, Let Me Entertain You, If You Can't Beat Them, Join Them, Dead on Time. Whew, that is a fast and furious rocker. It needs to be longer. Fun It, I enjoy. Yeah, a lot on here. So that is Jazz. I really like the production on here. There's something about it's so crisp. I mean, for 1978, I think the production is brilliant. It doesn't date, this album. Okay, next one, a fan favourite, News of the World. Came out in 1977. A slight change in style for Queen. The production is a little bit rawer, and they recorded this quite quickly. I think, was it in 2 weeks? I'm not sure. But quite quickly compared to the previous albums, which maybe took them 6 months. So, News of the World. I noticed this change in songwriting on this album. Freddie's output of 3 songs was a bit disappointing. I really only love one of Freddie's songs, which is My Melancholy Blues. We Are the Champions I wasn't crazy about. And the other one was Get Down, Make Love, which is okay. But great songs on here overall. I love Sheer Heart Attack. That is a real punky sort of speed metal, I don't know what you want to call it, but raw at the same time. We Will Rock You's great. It's Late is the anthem on here. Who Needs You, Sleeping on the Sidewalk, Fight from the Inside, great. I just want to show you, as I said, these are Japanese replicas and they are amazing. So you've got the cover there, you've got the inside cover there, great artwork. Even the CD has got the Queen crest exactly as it was on the vinyl, and the lyric sheet is exactly the same. So they don't even have the a barcode on the back, which you would if you were buying say one of the vinyls today. You would probably somewhere along the line there might be a barcode, but just identical to the original release. Okay, so next one, I used to say, or sometimes I still say, this is my favourite Queen album, and it is A Day at the Races. Love this. Not a bad track. Opens up with one of my favourite Queen songs of all time, Tie Your Mother Down, which is a real kind of rocker in the Led Zeppelin style. It kind of reminds me of rock and roll a little bit. Very raw, just guitar, bass, drums and vocals. That's all you need. You don't need synthesizers. But every track is great. Somebody to Love, White Man, The Millionaire Waltz. I could go on. I'm not going to list them all. But yeah, I think this one and the next three you need in your collection. Okay, so we've got, should this be number 3? I don't know, but I'm going to go with Queen 2, their most proggy album. Slight concept, or certainly in the artwork, you had a white side and a black side. On the white side you had the fantastic White Queen, which is a kind of a ballad written by Brian May, fantastic, and it was great live as well. But on the black side, which is mainly written by Freddie Mercury, you've got everything on there. You've got Ogre Battle, the Fairy Fellas Masterstroke, and the brilliant March of the Black Queen, which is a bit of a forerunner to Bohemian Rhapsody. Amazing, check it out. And of course their first hit single, Seven Seas of Rye, which is, it's still one of my favourite of their singles. It just had everything in it in like 3 minutes or whatever. Okay, so that's Queen 2, my third favourite Queen album of all time. These are next two. You know what's left, don't you? I'm going to go with this one, A Night at the Opera. Many people's favourite. It deserves to be up there at the top. You've got Bohemian Rhapsody on here, of course, and you've got fantastic opener again, Death on Two Legs, written by Freddie. Brilliant. Fantastic production. Every track is brilliant. What I loved on their earlier albums, very often the tracks would merge into one another, and as it does on here with the Prophet Song and Love of My Life, and I do miss that very much. They stopped doing that, I think, probably News of the World time, but yeah. Anyway, that brings me up onto the final Queen album, and you know what it is. It is Sheer Heart Attack, and this is quite a heavy album, but with a variety of styles. So you've got heaviness of Brighton rock, you've got Stone Cold Crazy, you've got In the Lap of the Gods, and In the Lap of the Gods Revisited. They used to end their concerts with that song before they'd written We Are the Champions. It's a much better song if you ask me. But yeah, great album, deserves to be at the top or in the top 4. Okay, anyway, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Sorry I've rambled on, but I hope if I get some good feedback from you, I'll come back and do another one. Okay, bye bye for now. Cheers.